This is a story about how to give yourself a 980% raise without working any harder. So let's say, hypothetically, that in 2020, I was a normal American worker making the median wage of about $16 an hour. Today, thanks to this one simple trick, that same hour of work is worth over $170. How is that possible? That's without getting a promotion, without learning any new skills, without picking up any side hustles or working any overtime. Well, all I would have had to do to make that a reality is stop saving my time and energy in dollars and start saving in Bitcoin. That decision to save that $16 an hour in Bitcoin would be the equivalent of giving yourself a 980% raise over the next 5 years without working any harder. Because most people don't realize it, but the real reason they feel stuck isn't because they're not working enough. It's because they're storing their time and energy in money that's built to leak value. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how much of your labor gets stolen if you save in dollars, and exactly how much more of it you keep if you save in Bitcoin. And I'll explain why this isn't just about getting rich, it's about not getting poor. So let's get into it in just 1 second. First, real quick, my name is John from My Favorite Thing About Bitcoin. Been studying Bitcoin for several years and created this channel with the goal of helping other people better understand and grow their conviction in Bitcoin. If that sounds like something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button. Now let's do the math. In 2020, the average American earned a median wage of $16.64 an hour. At that time, Bitcoin was trading at about $11,000. So what happens if you took 1 hour of work, $16.64, and saved it in Bitcoin instead of dollars? Yes, obviously, for simplicity's sake, I'm not counting taxes because I don't know what your tax liabilities are. But if you'd have done that, you would have gotten about 149,000 Satoshis. That sounds like a small fraction of a Bitcoin, but it still matters. Because today, when I'm recording this video in 2025, Bitcoin is sitting around $118,000. So those 149,000 sats that you earned in 2020, they're now worth about $177. That's not a typo. That's the same hour of work you did in 2020, now being worth 10.6 times more, a 980% raise, simply because you chose to store it in Bitcoin. Meanwhile, if you save your wages in dollars, inflation didn't just chip away at them, it eroded them. That $16.64 from 2020 now buys the equivalent of $13 worth of stuff in 2025, according to CPI inflation. And if you want to know why CPI is a joke, you can watch this video I made right here. But we'll go with CPI for now, just for these numbers. So that's a 21% pay cut just for saving in the system that they tell you to use because it's safe and reliable. Quick pause to say if you're liking the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment or question in the comment section, and you can zap me sats via the Lightning Network using the QR code on the screen if you're interested. All right, back to the video. If you saved in dollars, you lost value. If you saved in Bitcoin, you multiplied the value of your time and energy. And I'm not doing this as some hypothetical future projection. This is what already happened over the last 5 years. Most people think the solution to this problem is to just work harder, hustle, grind more hours, pick up a second job, side hustle on lunch hour. But what if the real problem isn't about how much you're working, it's how you're saving? When you trade your time for dollars, you're storing your labor in something that's constantly leaking value. The government prints more of it as much as they want, whenever they want, which makes prices go up and the purchasing power of your savings get weaker. All the hours you've worked in the past, you can't print more of those. So even if you work harder going forward, you're still stuck in a game where the money you've already earned melts faster than you can earn more of it. It's like trying to fill a bucket with water when there's a giant hole in the bottom. That's why so many people feel like they're sprinting in place. Bitcoin flips that on its head. When you save in Bitcoin, you're storing your time in something that's engineered to be scarce. No central bank, no money printer, no dilution. So instead of your past labor getting devalued, you're preserving the value of the time and energy that you've already given up in exchange for your labor. And this is where some people get stuck and they say, why bother buying Bitcoin? It doesn't have the potential to do 100x anymore. Some people have what I would call that high time preference, too greedy mindset where they say, oh, well, just having 0.01 Bitcoin won't make me rich. But that is the wrong mindset. The real question you should be asking is just how do I stop getting poorer? If you're just out here chasing 100x pumps to try to get rich, you're playing the wrong game. Bitcoin is the tool to stop the silent theft of your time, not just a lottery ticket to gamble it away. You don't need to buy something that's going to do 100x for you to win. You don't even need a 10x, even though Bitcoin's probably going to do a 10x. All you need is to stop saving in something that's guaranteed to lose value. Most people are chasing lottery tickets, gambling, and hoping to strike it rich on the next pump and dump meme coin. But the real unlock is not about getting rich quick. It's about not getting poor slowly, because when you save in dollars, your time is getting silently stolen by inflation, dilution, and a system that's rigged to devalue your labor over time. Bitcoin changes that game, and that difference can mean everything. Because if we take this a step deeper, it's not just about the wages you earn, it's about something called time preference. When you save in dollars, you're basically forced into a high time preference mindset. You have to spend them fast, invest them aggressively, or gamble them, because if you don't, your money's gonna melt. That's why people feel like they're constantly chasing something. More hours, more side hustles, more risk, just to stay afloat. But Bitcoin lets you flip that script on its head. You save in Bitcoin and you're saving in something that can't be printed into oblivion, which lets you shift into low time preference, thinking long term, saving patiently, and knowing that your effort won't evaporate over time. It's not about greed, it's about preservation. Bitcoin is a tool that lets you defend your labor from dilution, so you're not stuck running on a treadmill that just speeds up the faster you run. So it shifts you from having to gamble the money you've already made just to keep its purchasing power into being able to keep more of the value of the work you've already done. Every hour you work is a piece of your life that you're never going to get back. And if you store the value of that labor in dollars, it's leaking endlessly. If you store it in Bitcoin, it's appreciating endlessly. That's why even if you were making $16 an hour, you can say, I gave myself a 980% raise without working any harder. And all you have to do is stop saving in dollars and start saving in the hardest money ever known. Because it's not only about how much you earn, it's about how much you get to keep. So if this video made you rethink at all how you're saving your time, hit the like button, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Watch a couple videos on this playlist here where I talk a little bit more about why Bitcoin stores its value into the future better than any money that's ever existed. And as always, you never want to forget that Bitcoin is inevitable.